New evidence reveals the most horrifying secret yet. Today's revelations are beyond horrifying. Please stay calm as you watch this. We already know how cruel the perpetrators in the Yu Menglong case were, but what has just been exposed goes far beyond anything human language can describe. This isn't ordinary cruelty. This is something demonic. According to commentator Lin Beichuan, a person claiming to have inside knowledge posted on Douyin, describing the scene in shocking detail. The post said, "You think calling it cruel does it justice? The online rumors don't even come close to what I already know. I knew about this early on and never wavered. They beat and tortured him. That's nothing. They had full control over Yu Menglong long before that." Then came a terrifying line. Everything below was while he was still alive. His face was no longer recognizable. Fingernails removed, teeth removed, hair removed. The lower parts were severely damaged, limbs broken, vital organs were taken. Other organs, not sure which, because human models need to be hollow. The rest was sold on the black market. Some sold the flesh, some sold the recordings. Everything was cleaned up, no trace left. That's why the body no longer exists. Those online videos showing men carrying someone, those weren't rescues. They were Yu Menglong's remains being moved. He was forced to drink alcohol and take drugs. By then, there wasn't much left. When creating human models and injecting preservatives, it must be done while the victim is still alive. That's when the organs are considered most valuable. But Yu Menglong endured until the very end. During the second hanging from the window, his hands broke. Another post mentioned a restaurant video. There's a video filmed in a restaurant. Many foreigners were there, praising the dishes as sweet, premium, and excellent. Yu Menglong was nearby. They were choosing. These are things no normal person could ever imagine. That same night, the extracted parts were sent abroad. At that point, the identity of the person who posted it could not be verified. But based on the information, it's clear that this person must have had direct knowledge, perhaps one of those involved, or maybe a neighbor, a property staff member, or a police officer connected to the case. From earlier online reports, we already knew Yu Menglong had been beaten, injected with drugs, assaulted, and tortured. That alone was unbearable. But these new details break through every limit of human conscience. These people, they're not human, they're monsters. Commentator Lee said those monsters were only the executioners. They acted under orders from their masters, the big bosses, and behind them all, the CCP itself. It's beyond shocking. How Tianyu Media planned Yu Menglong's end. The whistleblower also revealed that Yu Menglong had been completely under control for a long time. This forces us to look back and examine a series of suspicious details. First, over the years, every time Yu Menglong filmed, he suffered accidents and injuries of all kinds, sometimes minor, sometimes serious. Each time, people thought it was just bad luck. For an actor, small injuries on set can happen, and once or twice, we can call that coincidence. But if every shoot ends in injury, can that still be called coincidence? Second, the company forced him to go on so-called diets to maintain his image, which later led to serious health problems and even required surgery. For an artist to stay fit is understandable. But when dieting causes illness and surgery, is that still a diet? Third, according to commentator Lin Beichuan, Yu's family has never given up. They continue to fight in their own way, even under heavy suppression, especially in Xinjiang, where the pressure is even harsher than in Beijing. The reason is the CCP has always ruled Xinjiang with an iron hand, and local officials often treat violence against the people as a stepping stone to climb into the central ranks. When the incident happened, Li revealed that someone from within the circle tried to save Yu Menglong but didn't make it in time. Who that person was remains under investigation. Police had also arrived at the scene but were persuaded to leave. All of this shows one thing: the perpetrators had powerful protection, deep backing strong enough to influence police action. When you put all the pieces together, the repeated injuries on set, the forced starvation that led to illness, the brutal abuse inside the secret room, and finally the day Yu was killed, It becomes clear that Tianyu Company had planned it all long ago. This was a deliberate, premeditated murder. And what makes it even more tragic is that everyone around Tianyu Media knew, except Yu himself. And behind it lies a massive protective shield, the CCP's top leadership, directing a well-coordinated, systematic web of crimes. Lin Beichuan calls on veterans to rise and expose the truth behind the Yu Menglong case. One more breaking update. The main account of Lin Beichuan, who identifies himself as a red descendant of the CCP elite, has been banned after his verified status as a veteran was revoked. Authorities no longer allow him to use that identity. In his October 30th post on Weibo, he stated that he might no longer be able to speak as freely as before. In addition, sources reveal that Lin previously was summoned back to Beijing for interrogation because he continuously spoke out for Yu Menglong. He was ordered to remain silent, yet he has refused to stop speaking out. Earlier, Lin had publicly reported Wang Xiaohong under his real name, and now he has issued a powerful call, urging veterans to stand up, report, and apply pressure from above so that the truth can come to light, a move that means direct confrontation with the CCP. In his post, Lin emphasized that only the military can restrain the government, and that true balance can exist only when the military and government hold each other in check. In response, some veterans have already answered his call. A friend of commentator Li inside China told him that Weibo has exploded. Users are reposting and tagging Lin Beichuan, spreading his message across the platform. Lin once said, "Everything that gets deleted instantly, that's the truth." And that statement has proven absolutely correct. The CCP will never allow the truth to spread. Once it's discovered, posts are deleted, accounts are banned, and those who come too close may be invited for tea, a euphemism for being taken in for interrogation. Anything that continues to circulate on China's internet is only what the CCP allows. The false information they want people to see. Unable to stay silent, Yu Menglong's family friend speaks out. According to commentator Dayu, a person claiming to be a family friend of Yu Menglong publicly came forward on October 31st on the platform Threads, using the username Our1988Long to speak out on Yu Menglong's behalf. This person also attached 2 blurred private family photos of Yu Menglong to prove their identity. In the post, the individual wrote, "I am a friend of Yu Menglong's family. After hearing from them about their grief and frustration over the past few days, I couldn't hold it in any longer. Let me briefly verify myself. Below are 2 photos. One of Yu Menglong and his mother when he was a child, and another taken a few years ago when he returned to his hometown. You've never seen these photos anywhere else before. Why do I have them? Because I'm a friend of his family. Why am I risking myself to speak out here? Because I personally believe a lot of information must be shared, and they can't speak for themselves." His family's Weibo accounts have been silenced, their Xiaohongshu accounts completely deleted. And as for other platforms, you can all see what's going on. I have to expose the true faces of those pretending nothing happened. You were all there that night. You've only been able to live freely these past few days because the victim's family has been gagged. Song Yiren, you attended both parties that night. How dare you publicly claim you only learned about it the next morning, pretending to be innocent? Ji Guangguang, the person who fell from your home, when you couldn't explain it, you vanished and went offline immediately. Quite the escape artist, aren't you? Jiao Maichi, you can't escape either. You were at the scene when it happened. You're the one who covered Yu's face with clothes. And now you still have the audacity to attend public events, acting all calm and normal? You sure have plenty of free time. I'm telling everyone clearly, these facts are real. You can stop denying it now. As for the others involved, besides bullying the victim's family, what else can you even do? The net of justice is vast, and though it may seem loose, no one escapes it forever. One day, your true faces will be revealed. That's what the whistleblower wrote. From the information above, the individual directly named 3 suspects we've been talking about over the past month: Song Yiren, Ji Guangguang, and Jiao Maichi. and specifically stated that the person who covered Yu's face with clothing that morning was Jiao Meichi. It appears this so-called family friend has a detailed understanding of what happened that night. Jiao Meichi was previously known as a friend of Yu Menglong, and once, a photo of him wearing sunglasses at the scene went viral. Because in the reflection of the sunglasses, people could faintly see the moment of the incident. Later, in the comment section of their own post, the whistleblower continued, "Thank you all for speaking out in your own ways these past days. It's given great strength to Yu's family. Friends inside China, please continue focusing on the main thread of the case. The only reason I'm speaking up is because I can't tolerate those people lying and pretending to be innocent. I want to make it absolutely clear, none of them can wash their hands of this. Do you really think you can silence everyone who knows the truth? Think you can just get away like that? Since the family can't speak, I'll speak for them. A human life cannot be brushed off so lightly. I'm not joining any groups and I won't show my face. I created this account solely to share what the family told me. Anything uncertain, I won't post. When this case reaches the result the family hopes for, I'll disappear and never show up again." Furthermore, in the bio section, the whistleblower wrote, "I'll gradually post everything the Yu Menglong's family has told me. If you have questions and I know the answers, I'll respond. Because of internet restrictions, I may not be able to stay online for long. If I don't reply promptly, please understand." Based on the line, "Because of internet restrictions, I may not be able to stay online for long," commentator Diyu believes this person is currently located in mainland China. Furthermore, it's possible that Yu Menglong's family, including his mother, are still safe and alive. However, since the whistleblower's true identity remains uncertain, Diyu advises viewers to keep monitoring the information this person releases in the coming days before drawing any conclusions and to avoid making hasty judgments for now. Song YIREN'S death list exposed? Then, shocking new details have just come to light. Sources reveal that investigators discovered a service record of 600 people on Song YIREN'S computer, along with a death list containing 37 names. 14 were marked as processed, 8 as died accidentally, and 9 as pending closure. But most disturbing of all, next to Yu Menglong's name was a bold red cross. So far, no such service record or death list has been made public online. This is a highly significant development and one we need to keep a close watch on. We'll continue to bring you updates as more information unfolds in the Yu Menglong case. And finally tonight, an intriguing detail has come to light from the recent Trump-Xi meeting. Trump-Xi summit, Xi Jinping's giant font cheat sheet goes viral. At the recently concluded Trump-Xi summit, what was meant to be a landmark reunion between the US and Chinese leaders quickly took an unexpected turn, all because of a single notebook. According to the Vision Times, cameras caught CCP leader Xi Jinping with his head down for nearly the entire meeting, reading word for word from a script while rarely making eye contact with US President Donald Trump. But what really stole the spotlight was the cheat sheet in Xi's hands. Zoomed-in footage showed a notebook with giant Chinese characters, even marked with pinyin, and one line stood out, "Fen Tai Ni," meaning fentanyl. Social media erupted with jokes, calling it a language exam, not a diplomatic summit. Observers say Trump appeared amused, glancing at Xi's notes with a half-smile, as if watching a student recite an exam passage. Chinese state media downplayed the moment, insisting the talks were pragmatic and constructive. Still, analysts noted how unusual it was that Xi barely looked up or engaged in spontaneous exchange. Online, the hashtags Xi reading without looking up and Trump peeking at notes exploded across platforms. A diplomatic meeting turned into a reading contest, one user quipped. Another joked, "Even Trump wants to learn Chinese now." Meanwhile, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced that a new U.S.-China trade deal could be signed as soon as next week. The agreement, finalized in Kuala Lumpur, reportedly includes China purchasing 12 million tons of U.S. soybeans annually for the next 3 years, reducing fentanyl chemical exports and the U.S. cutting related tariffs by half. Washington also agreed to delay new export restrictions on Chinese firms and pause maritime sanctions in exchange for China easing rare earth export controls. Both sides even reached a deal on TikTok's transfer, set to move forward in the coming weeks. Besant added that Trump and Xi also discussed energy cooperation, with Beijing showing interest in Alaska's oil and gas pipeline project, a plan expected to bring up to $2 trillion in new investments. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to drop this icon in the comments to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. If you found this analysis valuable, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time.